Mau Keo Kaiana Ikupono Ea Imua Mau Keo Kaiana Ikupono Ea Imua Mau Keo Kaiana Ikupono Ea Wali Pajas Moa Days Manatava Kings and Queens would visit all the islands and saw everything. How would they feel about the changes of our land? Why could you just imagine if they were around and saw a concrete jungle and highways on sacred ground? How would they feel about the disrespect of ancient lands? Wanna now, tears will come from each other's eyes and they will stop to realize that's how all the people are in great danger now. Whoa, tell me what would they say? How would they feel? Will the smiles be content or the cry for the pains that they have seen? Now cry for our God, cry for our people, cry for our lands that was taken away. And then yet you find her vote in it. Ooh yeah, ooh mau keo kaiana ikopono ea imua ooh mau keo kaiana ikopono ea imua ooh mau keo kaiana ikopono ea. I wanna now all of the fighting King Kamehameha has done to conquer all the islands. Now there's condominiums. How would he feel about the changes of our land? Why could you just imagine if he came back and I saw traffic lights and the railroad tracks? How would he feel about the disrespect of ancient lands? Wanna now, tears will come from each other's eyes and they will stop to realize that's how all the people are in great danger now. Whoa, tell me what would they say? How would he feel? Would his smiles be content or cry for the pain that he has seen? Now cry for our God, cry for our people, cry for our lands that was taken away. And then yet you find hope in it. Ooh yeah, ooh mau keo kaiana ikopono ea imua 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 ooh mau ke ea o ka aina I ka pono. Ua mau ke ea o ka aina I ka pono. The life of the land perpetuates only in righteousness. Only in righteousness. Only in righteousness. Ooh yeah, ooh mau ke o kaiana ikopono ea imua ooh mau ke o kaiana ikopono ea imua ooh mau ke o kaiana ikopono.
They call themselves the Hawaiian Style Band. We recorded this song goes like this.
kakahi aka kako e ko Hawaii pai aina. Aloha e kamehameha e kahi ka moku o ke ave. Aloha e kamalala walu. Ke kau like ke kahi no ke aupuni o Maui. Aloha mai e nui o ahu nui a lua. Aloha mai e Kauai o Mano Kalani Po. Welcome to Hawaiian Kingdom News. 127 years of injustice, illegal occupation, colonization, discrimination, racism in Hawaiian Kingdom territory. And now to the national crisis with the weather.
Aloha kako, ko Hawaii pai aina, moko ke ave. Another episode of Darkside of Hawaiian Politics, your weather for Hawaii, moko ke ave, out in Honoka'a, your highs is 78, low 62, very bright and sunny. Down out in N.O. Kapa'ole Plantation, it's highs 78, low 60 out in Puilo Town. Down out to Hilo One, your highs is 82, low 67, bright and hot. Out in Pahoa, your highs is 79, low 66. Out in Pahala, 76 is your high, 60 is your low. And out in Kailua Town, where it's your high at 85 and low 72. And for your surf report on Moko Keawe, East Shores, 3 to 5, nice, fun waves. And out on your north shore, it's 6 to 10. Please stay out of the water. That is your high surf advisory. If you're not a professional surfer, please stay out of the water. West side, 3 to 6, same advisory goes. Practice social distancing. Stay not too close to each other, but also please be advised of 3 to 6 at your shore breaks. Down at south is 1 to 3. Enjoy your day. And Mauna Kea is a bright, sunny 89 degrees with no overcast. So your aha will be playing on, I think it was on Pu'uhuluhulu. If you go check out their Facebook, they will be doing your ahas. So if you need to get in your aha, go ahead and check it out at high noon. And that is your weather surf update from Mokuoke Ave. DJ Derbs, Mano Olelo to start off this week.
Aloha kako. Our mana olelo for today is Aina Ho'opulapula. When you search Aina Ho'opulapula in Vehe Vehe, it says seedlings, sprouts, cuttings as of sugarcane. To start seedlings or cuttings. But the third definition, 1AB, to rehabilitation. Ho'opulapula lahui. Rehabilitation of the nation. Aina ho'opulapula. Homesteading lands. Especially for rehabilitation of Hawaiians. So in order to rehabilitate, we need to know about the injustice that has been happening. So when you look up Aina Ho'opulapula in Papakilo database, there's 544 hits. But one I want to look at is on March 28, 1863. Quote, "Ua noho ke kanaka malalo o ka ho'opili mea ai. Malalo o ia kumu ho'okamani e ku e loa ana ina mana'o ku'oko'a o ke kanaka I komo I loko o ke kaipo e ma Honolulu nei. Lahaina a me na wahi a puni o ke ia pai aina. O ka olelo iho I ke ku e o na kumu I ka mana'o ku'oko'a o na kanaka I loko o kou mana'o. Ua oia I o ole ia olelo a ka ua kōkua nui na kumu I kukulu ana a me ka ho'opulapula ana I na mana'o ku'oko'a I loko o ka pu'uwai Hawaii. Mai kela pea a ke ia pea o ka aina. I ho ike no ke ia hiipoi nui ana o na kumu ma ka mana'o ku'oko'a. Ke koi nei mākou I ua hoa nei o mākou. E haka pono ae I ke kumu kana vai o ke ia aupuni. This is an amazing article. You guys need to read it. Kanupepa Ku'oko'a, March 28, 1863, talking about Aina Ho'opulapula. And when the insurgents came to change our minds, to switch our ideas of how we should live, it was the kumu who stead kupa'a to the Mana'o Ku'oko'a and the Kumu Kanawai o Keia Aupuni, which was the Hawaiian Kingdom Constitution, which Prince Kuhio embedded parts of it in the 1921 Hawaiian Homes Commission Act, which the National Crisis is going to read for you one section right now.
Title Purpose, Section 101. A. The Congress of the United States and the State of Hawaii declare the policy of this act to enable Native Hawaiians to return to their homelands in order to fully support self-sufficiency for Native Hawaiians and self-determination. And as we scroll down with the purpose, you're looking at Section D. Nothing in this act shall be construed to 1. Affect the rights of the descendants of the citizens of the Kingdom of Hawaii to seek redress and any wrongful activities associated with the overthrow of the Kingdom of Hawaii DJ Derbs. And so this morning, for part of the Mano'olelo is Section 204, controlled by the Department Available Lands, return to the Board of Land and Natural Resources when, upon the passage of this act, all available lands shall immediately assume the status of Hawaiian homelands under the control of the department to be used and disposed on efforts provision. And so down at Keokaha right now, Kako, they're actually out there right now protecting our kupuna because how can we say it?
Gross injustice of bad decisions by our leadership who controls our government and most of the people and lands today.
So Section 206, the powers and duties of the governor and the Board of Lands and Natural Resources in respect to the lands of the state shall not extend to the lands having the status of Hawaiian homelands / crown lands. So mahalo again for the Ohanas out in Keokaha, Governor Ige and Harry Kim, the Ige Fernandez and Harry Spicy Kimchi has continued. Prior to this, they left our only homestead parks open, and we had to physically go down there and ask them to please close it. And once again, they're not respecting our communities. They're allowing high traffic and high-risk people coming off the dock and airports to continue to go down to our Aina Ho'opulapula Keokaha homestead crown lands. So we had to read a little bit today of the Mano'olelo and the purpose of Aina Ho'opulapula, and to look at the historical context, what DJ Derb said, that has an extension to the kingdom. So mahalo again, and if you guys want to know more, go ahead and research about the purpose, and you guys can verify what we said is correct. And mahalo once again for the Mano'olelo of the day, Aina Ho'opulapula.
And don't forget, Kako, this year, 2020, is the centennial of the 100 years of the 1920 congressionally approved rehabilitation that today equals 100 years of injustice, oppression, suppression, marginalizing. Everything you can think of is in this act. So read it, follow our history, and e holo mua kako. Live on the land, don't die on a list.
There you go. Mahalo DJ Derbs for the Mano'olelo. Now up for this week, we have for our Smash or Pass segment. First one up on the chopping board we have is Civil Beat reports Honolulu Mayor slam for offering.
So Hawaii News Now headlines also says, Honolulu Mayor Kirk Caldwell criticized for suggesting Kauai could be a test case for restarting tourism. So I learned this word gaslighting. If this headline isn't a part of the gaslighting show of the current leadership, I don't know what is. But for a mayor from another island to suggest to the most successful mayor of all of the islands, Mayor Kawakami on Kauai, who's been able to stop the spread of COVID-19, to reopen his county publicly is just unfathomable, unconscionable, continued colonization, continued injection of injustice. It just, I can't believe it. Other than wanting to cause a fight or a fire using the gaslight. So this got to be gaslighting from Mayor Cookie Crook Madwell, definitely. So I got a smash on the mayor this week because of this gaslighting headlines saying that Kauai should open. I got to give him a smash.
KP, light him up.
Wasn't this Oahu mayor also proposed to send COVID-19 people to
Waianae.
Waianae, right? So, and he got caught.
KP, laying it out, KP.
He got
yes,
caught.
don't forget.
So now, what he want to do is cause trouble and overstep his boundary from Oahu and go to another island. So it's like, you know what? It's like this guy's is trying to cause trouble to another mayor on another island and overstep his boundary. So
Yes.
the thing is, the Oahu mayor is just a plain loser.
He's a loser.
I gotta smash him.
KP, Cornerstone, thank you for always reminding us about their criminal history. Their criminal history of continuing to overstep their boundaries and their fiduciary duties and consistently being losers within our community by sending all of the inmates all the way out to Waianae. And mahalo to the family who went out there to make sure to hold them accountable, because they were just going to send them there and make sure that our rural communities will get the ailment first and have the most significant effects. And now we see it again with the Crook Clownwheel show, the Cookie Crook Clownwheel show, that continues to try and open up another island and override another mayor. That's why these guys want a pay raise. They want the other mayor's pay job, right?
Right.
Just like how Harry Kim guys are just speaking on the civil defense now, they're seeking to get that pay raise by way of doing the job, right? They just want to move into the next state and they want to tell the next mayor how to conduct itself. And that's what we have to expose every time or every week on the Dark Side of Hawaiian Politics, is this shit show continues to go on. We will be here to hold these corrupt politicians accountable. And that is a smash, because we can't allow mayors overstepping their fiduciary duties when they have failed and neglect their own state. Malama your own state or your own island and let us manage ours.
Right. So, you know, our advice to you is stay in your own lane.
Stay in your own lane. KP, the Cornerstone, laying it out once again. Stay in your lane. Next up on the chopping block, DJ Derbs, we got
Hilo Tribune. Lawmaker implies state health director withheld information about two, not one, two COVID-19 clusters. Bruce Anderson. So State Senator Donovan Dela Cruz of Oahu says failure to properly articulate methodology. The DOH's efforts to trace people who came into contact with individuals who tested positive for coronavirus has failed. Not one cluster, but three clusters involving three Kailua Kona McDonald's restaurants involving employees from the McDonald's has exponentially expanded the reach of coronavirus in Kona. And supposedly this information that Bruce Anderson did not share, because of the sensitivity of the information and the site, allowed other customers after this spread occur to go to the McDonald's.
Yeah.
Kako, we're the public. We need to know immediately to withhold this kind of information is just an injustice on top injustice. So I gotta smash the injustice of not letting us know so that we can perform justice. So smash on Bruce Anderson. Stop lying. Stop gaslighting. Give us the information.
Anderson. KP, Bruce Anderson.
Bruce Anderson.
The McFlurry.
Well, first of all, he's not a doctor. He just got, he just has a PhD. And to withhold this information, is, it's you got to be accountable. What you hiding, from, and we just got to look at it. Okay, in Kona they had 3 different McDonald's who the employees tested positive. Okay, so what did they do? They shut down the McDonald's in Kona, in Walmart. But why didn't they shut down Walmart? Right? Because you can go to McDonald's, buy a Happy Meal, and walk around in Walmart, and you don't know if you have the virus or not. So what they should have done is to alert the public right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
And also they should have actually shut down Walmart and also tested the Walmart employees. So I gotta give Anderson a smash.
Kako, KP, DJ Derbs. Once again, Bruce the Abuser Anderson, that continues the shit show, should have a case of COVID-19 McFlurry served to him daily. This guy should have the McFlurries all day because he continues to show up on our radar. But it's funny how they point out this guy when I believe it's the state of Hawaii and the Ige show that hires these lawmakers and make sure that these people continue to withhold information. This happened out in Maui too. Yes, Kako. People have been holding this data back. And you got to ask yourself, why are they holding this data back, Mr. Bruce Anderson? Or why is he giving false testimonies? Because I'm pretty sure that is against federal codes to lie under these circumstances in a national proclamation crisis.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's real simple, as KP laid out. We just got to continue to smash on Mr. Anderson. But you, Donovan De La Cruz, as much as you fumbled the ball at the 1-yard line, thank you for opening up your mouth after you sold a lot of our natural resources on this one issue. So Donovan De La Cruz, I see you. Continue to make sure Ben Anderson continues to not spread his lies about McDonald's and all his false information that he's putting on official documents. Mahalo. Next up on the chopping block, DJ Derbs.
Honolulu Civil Beat. She's running Hawaii's virus response, but should we trust her? Here's a deeper look at state epidemiologist Dr. Sarah Park, why she's made certain decisions and why some medical professionals think she's wrong. So throughout this whole thing, Dr. Park has been getting support through her friends, Governor Ige, who's not
her brother,
professional in the medical field. He doesn't have the expertise. Bruce Anderson, who doesn't have the expertise in the medical field. In a 2017 state audit, found that Hawaii Health Department's Disease Outbreak Control Division under Park's leadership. So she was controlling this Department of Health Disease Control. Criticisms of Park and her coronavirus response echo the audit's findings. I think somewhat there's an attitude of you're all amateurs, said Dr. David DeRalph. And doctors like Miskovich says it's so opposed to what the world experts are saying that I would classify it as medieval. He's talking about Dr. Park and her vision and her words of her direction that she's been taking the state of Hawaii. So here's doctors who are doctors, and even U.S. Representative Tulsi Gabbard went so far as to call on Park and her boss to resign for putting Hawaii residents in grave danger, Kako. How can you not be alarmed? Yeah. How can you not feel unsafe with people like this running the decisions for our government, for our state of Hawaii, for the well-being of our people? I just gotta give a big fat smash to the Anderson Park Show on all of their decisions, leading us and directing us through this COVID-19 response. Big smash, Kako.
KP.
Well, as I look at it, since the beginning of the occupation, January 17, 1893, is that they have a consistency of running the so-called state of confusion like a third world country. They're not accountable for their actions, and they always put it on somebody else. And it's profits before people. So like Park and anybody else in the occupying government, they don't take it seriously. They're just looking out for themselves and also for big business. So I give her a smash.
Yes. Kako, Parks. So Mrs. Parks, yes, serve as an officer for the Epidemic Intelligence Services. Yeah. So this Federal Center for Disease Control and Prevention, right, is a very, successful program that has been around. But as you can tell by the stats that they were showing, that this brother and sister duo, Ige, an administration with Parks and Bruce Anderson and all of these crisis actors, continue to light a spark under our community by spreading false information. So just like how Facebook can block everybody with false information, Kako, you should go ahead and hit that snooze button on these losers. So when these guys come on, just hit the snooze button, because that's how we mute this kind of false information. Because we don't have the power like Facebook just to Freedom of Information or False Information Act come up and block you. But we telling you how to do it from the button of your house. When you see these crisis actors, look at her face. This face is constipation of corruption. We need to make sure that this person does not leak into your TV screen or into your ears, Kako. This is the virus. This kind of people, the Ige Fernandez show. So we continue to encourage you guys to read up on these people, know thy enemy and thy disease, and know how to stop the bad rash when these people come around. So Kako, it's an easy smash as we move up to our South Pacific stats update for COVID-19 for this week with Kupuna Pono Ike. Ready when you are.
All right.
South Pacific.
All right. This is KP with the South Pacific C19 update. I'm going to go over all the different island nation states, and it looks like it's stabilizing. If we look at Aotearoa, it's stabilizing at 1422. So it's like they don't have any new cases. For American Samoa, with their strict regulations, they have 0. Cook Islands, they have 0. Guam, they have 140 cases. Wow. So that's only 5 new cases from stabilizing. Okay, if you look at Fiji, they only have 1 new case, so it's up to 18. For the Hawaiian Kingdom, we have 601 cases. If we look at the Kingdom of Tonga, they have 0 cases. Kiribati, 0 cases. Marshall Islands, 0 cases. Micronesia, 0 cases. Nauru, 0 cases. New Caledonia, stabilizing at 18. So there are no new cases. For Niue, they have 0 cases. Northern Mariana, they have just 1 new case at 14 cases. For Palau, 8, they have 0 cases. For Papua New Guinea, they're stabilizing with just 1 additional case. For Solomon Islands, 0 cases. For Samoa, 0 cases. For Tahiti, they have 2 new cases at 57. So they're stabilizing. For Tokelau, 0 cases. Tuvalu, 0 cases. And finally, Vanuatu, 0 cases. So
what is the Hawaiian Kingdom?
601. 601. So as you look in the South Pacific up to the north, it seems like it's stabilizing. So there's no...
what count was that 553 was that you had
553
prior? What date was that?
Last week, Saturday.
Last week Saturday was 553?
Yeah. So it's if you look at the overall, it's stabilizing. So we're doing a really good job. Doing safeguarding the people in the various island nations. So that's really good.
KP, thanks for the stats on the COVID-19 South Pacific Hawaiian Kingdom news. Do you have any clips of our bi-weekly news clip that you wanted to?
Okay, the first article that I'm going to cover is
West Papa.
West Papua activist found guilty of treason. So this news article comes out from Radio New Zealand. Okay, and an Indonesian court has found 6 activists guilty of treason for their role in protesting in support of West Papuan independence last August. The 6 Indonesian People's Front for West Papua's spokesperson says they staged their protest in independence in front of the presidential palace in Jakarta. A panel of judges at Central Jakarta District Court gave them all 9-month sentences, except for Isa Wendo, who received 8 months.
Who's that colonizing judge? What is that name again? You said who gave him the treason charges? We got to remember these colonizers.
Let me see.
Oh man. Well, Pulekako, send love and aloha out to our ohana, our extended ohana in West Papua, who have been found guilty of treason, which, if you are the original people from that nation, how can you be charged with treason? Right, KP?
Yeah.
Thank you, KP.
So it's just a political ploy.
It's a political ploy, man.
Yeah. Okay, then the next article that we have is the let me see. Okay, so the next article that we have here is Fiji hospital staff investigated for COVID-19 breaches. So this is also from Radio New Zealand in Fiji. So Fiji Minister of Health is investigating breaches of COVID-19 restriction involving hospital staff. The ministry said this followed a video posted on social media showing large groups of people gathering outside the hospital to farewell patients being discharged. Okay, so this is the second news article, and this is out of Fiji. And finally, we have this other news article from Niue. Okay, Niue loses fight for internet domain. Niue has lost a legal battle to take back control of its internet domain from a Swedish company. Niue's government has sought to wrestle control of the .nu or NU domain from the Swedish Internet Foundation, which has managed it since 2013. A spokesman for the company said that the Stockholm District Court dismissed Niue's complaint because it lacked the legal capacity to be a complainant. The court ordered Niue to pay the Swedish Internet Foundation nearly $36,000 in legal costs. So there you have it with the South Pacific news. Mahalo.
South Pacific Kingdom news, COVID update, international news, KP, mahalo. For that, we always appreciate the COVID-19 update in our kingdom and out in our South Pacific Kingdom too. Mahalo for never forgetting our ohana out in the South Pacific, KP. Our last 3 smash or pass for this week is first out of the 3 on the chopping block is we never see this guy in a while. The colonizing institution Lasner, Tribune and Herald reports uncomfortable changes ahead at UH. DJ Derbs, long time we don't see this colonizer. Komanao.
Hawaii Tribune Herald, Lasner, uncomfortable changes ahead at UH. Quote, let me say, We are committed to deliver a high quality UH education, and we have no intention of refunding tuition and academic fees that are dedicated to the cost of delivering education.
Oh, that sounds like a gangster.
So UH President David Lasner's quote in the public confirms there will be no refund whatsoever, despite how your lives was affected with maybe unemployment, with maybe getting the COVID disease yourself. All of those options are out because no refunds for tuition. So I just gotta say this. Give him a big fat smash. This is a world pandemic. We need to be open to every single situation to help our people survive this national world crisis pandemic. So I got to give him a smash for that quote in the Hilo Tribune Herald, uncomfortable changes ahead.
KP, educate this guy.
All right. So like Lasner, like other officials in the U.S. occupied state, they're running the so-called state as a criminal organization. They take your money, but they're not giving you the full benefits that you paid for. And so people need to come out and challenge him. I'm not going to give him thousands of dollars for education, and he only going to give you 10%.
Yeah.
And he going to keep 90%. So this is unacceptable. So I say, Lesnar, smash.
So the educational malpractice capital in Hilo, Hawaii, the University of Hawaii at Hilo, continues to live up to the great white hype where they will not return your land because their property, their real estate property, is on Crown lands, Kako. Now let's remember, Waikea Ahupua'a is Crown lands held in trust for the heirs of Ko Hawaii Pai'aina. So when this crisis actor continues to say that there will be no refunds, you know, Kako, I think we need a refund on this guy. We need to send him back to New England or wherever this guy came from, because he continues to work our community down to nothing, where he thinks academia face-to-face and academia over a TV screen has equal value. And with that being said, it's really quite simple for me to smash on this cupcake, because he continues to dodge bullets because it is COVID-19. But he couldn't dodge today because he decides that people are not going to get refunded, even though this pandemic has caused so much hardship on our families and on outer state ohanas, that this pandemic is called the Lasner pandemic. He's been not only colonizing our education, but he's been desecrating our mauna. And now he is the lead candidate for this uncomfortable change. So everybody, let's make it comfortable for him to resign and smash on Mr. Lasner. And next up, for our last two smash or pass this week, DJ Derbs, we have Tribune and Herald responds to council votes to accept $5.3 million for police overtime up on the Mauna Kea Kupuna assault. DJ Derbs, weigh in.
In that article, a previous incarnation of the deal was first brought before the council in December and would have reimbursed the county up to $10 million. But the council rejected that deal because of ambiguity in the terms. It seems like the state of Hawaii is always trying to inject itself, to fund itself to arrest Hawaiians, Kako. This is what this bill is all about. So mahalo to Puna Councilman Matt Kaneali'i Kleinfelder, who asked the question during Wednesday's meeting, the terms of the deal and whether or not can the deal change at a later date without the approval of the council. So, County Corporation Counsel Joe Kamelamela confirms that it cannot No future changes to the deal can occur unless it comes before the council for approval. You remember that last video when Joe Camilla said, that's okay, just sign them.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
need
yeah.
read them.
Kashmela
It's
Smela
okay,
said
just
this-
pass the 10
they smell 'em,
million.
they smell 'em off.
And then now he's quoted as no changes can be made without the prior approval of the council. It's like they're covering their tracks. It's like they're hiding their footsteps, going into the home, stealing the cookies from the cookie jar and coming out. So I got to give them a big fat pass to Kleinfelder, but I got to give a big fat smash to the state of Hawaii coming to Moku Okeawe, trying to desecrate Mauna Kea and steal our monies and our police officers to do wrongdoing. Smash.
KP. Como now?
All right, so it's good that the councilman called out the Kamehameha because initially Kamehameha said, you know what, just sign this blank check.
It's like
And
on Crook, yeah. Just sign a blank check.
just sign that
Sign
blank check, and also,
to the Saki
you know, you don't have to read, any of the other paperwork. And it's so what's really good, he got called out and he reversed his decision, saying that, oh no, now the county council has to vote on it. But if you have to look at the bigger picture, it's the state of Hawaii is the one who wants to pull the strings within Mokuokeawe on the Mauna. And this kind of shenanigans got to stop. So the people need to go out and be active and call them out. When you have this kind of shady deals, suspect deals, and you just have to call them out, because it's time and time again where the state of Hawaii don't want to be accountable for their actions. So I got to give a smash to Kamehameha.
KP. Kepa Kashmela Shmela continues down this path of signing over these blank checks. And then you see that now they want to clear this 5.3. I think, I may be wrong, but if we look at the property, right? Crown lands where this TMT and all this funding is being generated, the true landowners are not the protesters, but are the Hawaiian Kingdom heirs that continue not to occupy their space, is to exercise their rights.
Yes, exactly.
Is to exercise their rights. And these matters of this $5.3 million to give for the police for their overtime, I believe that this is fraud. First was the blank check. Now they're giving slight details about this 5.3. And I wonder how much of this goes to the Kealoha funds to catch the real guy.
Yes.
So these are all suspect, just like what KP says, yes? The occupation upon the road is exercising our existence to the true proper claimants to our birthrights of Ko'awai Pai'aina. This has nothing to do with protesting upon lands that the state of genocide continues to claim as their own. Nobody listened to us 5, 6, 7 years ago when we said that is all crown lands. Well, Kako, here you have it. Everybody is trying to get paid off in some way, either with a blank check or they take half of the blank $10 million, just with small details, some salt, some pepper, and the rest is all good, huh?
Right.
But there you guys got to have it. We got to smash on the county council for even approving this 5.3. They knew what mess they was getting in. Go get that off the bond that you guys have supposed to fulfilled already. Collect that bond. Look at the insurance plan, because we don't got Geico for the Hawaiian Kingdom. And that's all we have to say is smash, smash, smash. No money shall be put aside to arrest our kupuna, who are lineal descendants to the Kingdom of Hawaii and Ko'awai Pai'aina in perpetuity. And that is our last segment for this one mess up with the county council accepting the 5.3 million. Last up on the chopping block for Smash or Pass for this week, we had to run it. DJ Derb's late breaking news.
Hawaii News Now. Supreme Court sides largely with environmentalists in Maui wastewater case. The Supreme Court of the United States of America ruled Thursday that sewage plants and other industries cannot avoid environmental requirements under landmark clean water protections when they send dirty water on an indirect route to rivers, oceans, and other navigable waterways. This rejects the Trump administration's views. The justice held by a 6-3 vote that the discharge of polluted water into the ground rather than directly into nearby water does not relieve an industry of complying with the Clean Water Act. Stop drinking that dirty water, watching that mainstream media lies. Come to the Hawaiian Kingdom news. And I got to give the Supreme Court this week a big fat pass for actually supporting what they actually have in the Clean Water Act, because this is going to be a first of many in Hawaii Kako. There's been many instances on every island where the county and the state government has allowed tremendous pollution into our reefs, into our shorelines, killing thousands, if not millions, of our family members through the coral polyp and all the way to our I'a and the Mano Kako. So I got to give them Supreme Court a pass this week.
KP, enlighten us.
All right. So if you look at the Clean Water Act, we got to go all the way back.
Yes, yes.
When the sugarcane plantation.
There it is, KP.
A lot of the plantations within Hamakua.
Yes, there it is.
On Maui used to actually wash their cane.
Yes.
And all this, bywater, all this dirty water used to go into the ocean. You know, when we was growing up, like in the 60s and 70s, you could see Hilo Bay sometimes. You can see all this backwash coming onto the shore, all this cane, all this murky water. Is because they didn't enforce the Clean Water Act. So we have to commend the Supreme Court to stepping up and saying that enough and enough. We need to actually stand within the laws. We cannot run the state of Hawaii as a third world country and it's optional to follow law. They have to follow the rule of law, irregardless if this is an occupied country. So I give the Supreme Court a pass.
Yes. So the Clean Water Act. Mahalo nui anake. Terry Napeahi. I know it's a very tough case when we talk about the shit station in Hawaiian homes and other shit stations that are on the Hawaiian homes lands.
Yes.
And this is a proven fact of consistency with federal law, Kako. The Clean Air and the Clean Water Act. This is the issues I believe we should be pressing the gas on. We should be going full speed ahead for holding the county and state accountable for the shit stations and the way that they treat our waterways. Even like Kaimahele, when he talks about Mauna Kea and the shit station up there. It was supposed to change the sewage station since the 80s, yeah? Those are old sewage plant treatments up there. Not plant treatments, but old treatments of how they should take care of sewage, which is all over Mauna Kea, goes right down the hill into Uncle Sani Kaniho's area, right? And same Mana'o, from the Mauna down to Uncle Sani's, down into the Aina, whole Pula Pula area, the Aina Mauna Legacy. The same thing happens in Keoka Ku'uhome. The Duru station is there, and our families is right there on Crown lands. So these are inspiration when the Supreme Court, I believe they had no choice but to act correctly.
Oh, yes.
They have to act correctly, Kako. When you take it this far up to the Supreme Court, you will see our rights and our ways of life is held at a high standard and everybody respects it in the federal surroundings when we talk about Clean Water and Clean Air Act. So we got to this is my first pass for today. I don't give this out often, but we got to give a pass to our Supreme Court system, who doesn't always get it correct. But this one, how can you get it wrong? That's the whole key. So we ended it on a high note with a pass for the Supreme Court for ruling in favor 6-3, kako. So that means any day out of the month, we win this argument. And we win this argument soundly, efficiently, and very effectively. So there you have it for your Smash Show Pass this week, where we run over all the topics that's breaking through our community, and we weigh in, and we want to hear back from you guys to see what is your mana'o, and if we should give them a pass, or shall we smash every time we see a crime. So before we wrap it up, we have our last two not episodes, but our last two topics, which is always the debate. First one up is our constitutional oath breaker of the week, where we go after not your Hawaiian stealing Kit Kat bars from KTA, but we go after your crooked politicians who continue to line their pocket, get their raises, while they continue to rape and pillage our community from our pay and our daily lives. So, DJ Derbs, who is your sound winner? Because we had a 6-peat or a 7-peat champ this last few months. Who is it this week for our constitutional oath breaker?
Because of the Supreme Court's ruling and decision, and bringing it down hard on the Maui County and their initiative to take it a step higher to the Supreme Court, rather than just saying, you know what, throw in the towel, we did wrong, we did bad, we'll start to fix it. Instead of that, they chose to bank upon a racist Supreme Court decision to win the opportunity to pollute our ocean some more. So I gotta go with the Supreme Court's decision to smash down Mayor Victorino and the County of Maui. So that's my constitutional award breaker, is the County of Maui and the Mayor going to the Supreme Court to get smashed harder.
There it is. KP, constitutional oath breaker of the week.
For this week, I would give it to the Oahu mayor
Has to be.
for proposing to
Open up.
use Kauai as a test.
Right.
So I give him a smash for the oath
He get
breaker.
the shiny constitutional oath breaker. It's a shiny award for these guys.
Yeah.
Because you cannot just win this award.
Oh no.
We don't give it to Joe Schmo.
No.
This one got to be to the cream of the crop.
Yeah. So like the Ige, he got
He's been on a streak. He was on a streak, right? But then, hey, for my constitutional oath breaker of the week, I got to go with the Ige Fernandez show. Because what you said, KP, where our mayor wants to go, Oahu mayor wants to go over and do a test run on Kauai, is unacceptable. And just right here, Mr. Mike Victorino with his sloppy bunt to first base that grounded out, right? It's a sloppy bunt. He lays down, and we got the Supreme Court that just scoops it up and turns the double play on these knuckleheads. So there you guys have it. The Ige administration is continuing in this lead of the Constitutional Oathbreaker Award, followed by his brother, Cookie Kalonwell, and his other brother, Sloppy Bunt Victorino, out in Maui. So there you guys have it. Your Constitutional Oathbreaker went to a 3-way tie for the Ige Fernandez show. We got every island and every mayor that could possibly screw up this week on Darkside of Hawaiian politics. And for our second to last, we have Makahanaka Ike, where every week we weigh in on the must-do or the must-see activity for our community during this time of COVID-19. DJ Derbs, Makahanaka Ike.
Because of the Centennial 2020, we need to look at, you guys need to read the 1920 Hawaiian Homes Commission Act. Purpose,
Section 101.
Section 101,
All the way down to D.
all the way down to D,
It's only like 4 paragraphs.
and understand it clearly so that you can exercise your rehabilitation on our lands to come out of this economic crisis. Because you know they're going to go after our lands, Kako. They're already saying it. We need to open up agriculture. We need to open up all of these entities. But Hawaiians, you guys need to step in line because they're keeping you out of the line. They got Monsanto, Pioneer, Syngenta, and all of these large corporations just waiting, licking their chops because they can't wait to get our farmlands. So Hawaiians, Kako, you better read this, understand it, so you can live on the land. Don't die on the list, Kako.
Makahana kaike. KP.
What we need to do is just be vigilant and be aware of the shenanigans that the occupying state is trying to pull on us. You need to go back to your land. You need to start. Yeah, do your genealogy. It's the most important thing, and know where your kupuna, came from. What is the raw pattern that your kupuna have, and that's the start. But do your genealogy first.
Yes, makahana kaike. This week, like all week, go out and support your local farmers. Continue out in Manokalani Po. You guys continue to banging all that kalo. I see everybody working real hard within their mala and within our communities. And I believe now is the time more than ever to continue to support all the work on the Aina, all of our Maku farmers markets, all of the families that are out there working hana out in the work fields, out in our Aina. We just got to continue to support and plant. Makahana ka'ike from the national crisis is to prevent the national crisis and continue to plant. And there you guys have it. DJ Derbs, KP, Rapid Aloha, to wrap up the segment of this week.
So my rapid aloha going to be a little bit slow because the food basket schedule is a little long. On Sundays, 5 to 6 p.m., dinner, Salvation Army Lanai, downtown Hilo. On Tuesdays, breakfast, Salvation Army. Lunch, Joseph Storehouse.
Yeah.
Tuesday, dinner, Curtis Town Assembly of God, Hilo United Methodist Church. Wednesday, dinner, Kea'au High School. Thursday, breakfast, Salvation Army, downtown. Lunch, Joseph Storehouse. Thursday, dinner, Volcano Cooper Center, Hilo United Methodist Church. Friday, brunch, Curtis Assembly of God. Dinner, Pahoa Community Center. Saturday, Ola'a First Hawaiian Community Church. So I got to give a big, fat, rapid, nui aloha to the food basket and coordinating all of these entities to providing meals for our families on Moku'o Ke'ave.
KP.
Well, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Kanaka Kava. You can go to Kanaka Kava. They're open limited in their Ava Bar in Kona. You can also see them right outside the highway before Honoka'a. And also they're on Thursdays, they're across the service station from Walmart in Prince Kuhio parking lot. So you can check their schedule out on Facebook or Instagram. Check out Kanakakawa.
My rapid aloha, mahalo again to our sponsors, La'ama'apa'a, Na'au News Now, He Hawaiiao, Hawaiian Kingdom's Air. Go ahead, check out the IG. This week we are in Kona, Honolulu, looking at all the royal patents and the heirs of Ko Hawaii Pai'aina. Get updated, get connected. And there's your rapid aloha for this week. And we will see you next week, Saturday, 7 o'clock, same station, same time. DJ Derbs, KP, National Crisis, Kualoha Aina.
Aloha.
Stay
Aina
safe in the
ho
kingdom.
pula pula.
When you feel like you ain't got nothing to lose, see the metal bucket for what it is. The suplex that fucking on Yokozuna, but you know my big brother is.
Let him go. It's another day in
criminal. Nah, just a Kanaka trying to survive in a living world. Unloving, breathing, touching, squeezing, cardiovascular system, pumping, beating till the life force is depleted. But they can't take our mana, the power that's embedded in our DNA and cultivated through Ohana, Kuleana. Life's work, honor the past and the ancient ones, so the next generation still taste it on their native tongues. The bitter water for all my Ohana and kinfolk. My knuckles